Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. Andy, we're on season 6, episode number 7. Tonight's the songs edition, right?
Yes, we're just flying through this year already.
It's December 26th, 2024, our last songs episode of the year.
Yes.
And we're going to make it a good one, too.
We'll see what we can do, yeah.
We'll see what we can do. We've got an album review for the listeners tonight. It's Alice Cooper.
Be one of our 7 best of this season.
Yes. We've never covered this one, obviously, before, but here we go. It's Billion Dollar Babies, Andy.
Yes.
And so we're going to bring up the album cover here.
There it is.
Lots going on here with this. They had just been a band for a couple of years. They were new. They were surprised at how successful they got. And next thing you know, billions of dollars were being thrown at them, and they kind of considered themselves babies to some extent. So there's multiple meanings to this here. I'm going to get rid of this other ticker here. There we go. So Billion Dollar Babies is the 6th studio album by American rock band Alice Cooper, released February 1973 on Warner Brothers. It became the best Alice Cooper record at the time, hitting number 1 on the album charts. And so this went platinum, certified platinum, and, it did well. The songs were recorded in both the state of Connecticut and London, England. And in Connecticut, it was Greenwich, Connecticut, at the Galeese Estate is where they did the recording there. And also New York City at the Record Plant and Morgan Studios in London. So the topics and lyric topics, Andy, cover themes such as necrophilia, dental fear, horror, and sexual harassment. The album's 40 minutes and 51 seconds long. Remember, now these guys were in the shock rock phase. So anything to shock, they did it, whether they liked it or not, or believed in it or not. They did it just to get it out there because that's what was selling at the time. And so shock rock. So lots of things here. So here's the track listing.
All right.
10 songs. They get right to it. First song is Hello Hooray.
I got a note on that one. Okay. First of all, the way it's spelled on the album, Hooray, H-O-O-R-A-Y, is the British spelling, if you will, British English.
Okay.
Later on releases, they changed it H-U-R-R-A-Y. They Americanized it. It was a song written by Canadian singer-songwriter Ralph Kemp, first recorded by Judy Collins in 1968. I don't know, who knows where the time goes.
So it's a cover song.
Yes, Alice did cover song on this one. It reached number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also saw some success on the other charts across the world. Besides Alice Cooper, Meg Christensen released a cover version on her 74 album, I Know You Know. The band Pig released a version in their 1992 album, A Stroll in the Pork. And Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13 released a version on their 2006 box set, Little Box of Horrors. So just a little more tidbits on that song there for you.
Well, it kicks off with a cover song. Yes. Very interesting. Next song is Raped and Freezin'. Raped and Freezin' wasn't released. A good song. They're very interesting lyrics once again there. Third song is Elected. Now this was the first single released, and this was September 1972, right after Labor Day. This was released. Elected. So very much into you hear this song come up every 4 years, presidential election, things like that. Very good lyrics in that as well. Next song is Billion Dollar Babies, the cover, the title track, sorry.
Yes, that was written by Reggie Vision. Vision was involved in that. He was a famous background vocalist and guitarist for such groups as Chuck Berry, Etta James, John Lennon, Liberace, and Alice Cooper, along with many others. So don't want to say he was a studio guitarist and vocalist because he did a lot of work with Alice, but just listen to the genres he all crossed there. Chuck Berry, Etta James, John Lennon, Liberace, Alice Cooper. Alice was shock rock, and to do that, you can't just sing rock and roll. You got to go outside your comfort zone there, if you will, outside your studio, your target audience,
Yes.
and get some of those songs. So,
And so that song was also released. That was the fourth single released from the album Billion Dollar Babies. That was July 11th, 1973. And also, Andy, what I didn't see earlier on is the song Hello Hooray, the very first song, was released January 3rd, 1973. So kind of welcoming in the new year.
yes.
The song is called Hello Hooray, A Fresh Start. That's where they released that song second after the new year. Now, the last song on the side one is Unfinished Suite. This is that dental horror sound with a lot of the sounds in the background coming from the dental office. And so it's supposed to freak you out. Very comical lyrics there as well. Going on to side two, No More Mr. Nice Guy. Now, this was the third track released. I think it was probably my favorite song and got me into Alice Cooper was this song. And so this was released March 16th, 1973. Still one of my favorite songs to this day. But I think it's the song that got me into the moxie of Alice Cooper. It's just it's got all. It's kind of like the biographical song there. With if you read the lyrics, song 7 is Generation Landslide. He touches on some things too here about life in the 70s, things that were going on and whatnot. Good lyrics to listen to there. Next song is Sick Things.
Yes, one of the writers on Sick Things, Bob Ezrin. We're all familiar with his work. Again, this is where Alice just dealt with a lot of different guys who dealt with different people. Ezrin had recorded numerous major artists, including Pink Floyd, Fish, Alice Cooper, Kiss, Deep Purple, Lou Reed, The Kings, Handy Rocks, Taylor Swift, never heard of her, Peter Gabriel, Two Cellos, Rod Stewart, Nine Inch Nails, The Jayhawks, 30 Seconds to Mars, Jane's Addiction, Dr. John, Kansas, Berlin, Julian Lennon, the Deftones. So Ezrin had crossed the borders with everybody else. Of course, Ezrin's probably most notable or most remembered for people on our show, our genre. He did the piano accompaniment on the song Beth that Kiss did.
Yes.
He also did music from The Elder and Revenge for Kiss also. So he's kind of known for that. But again, Bob Ezrin, who's touched a whole lot of different genres Alice worked with. Very good work on Alice's part, reaching out like that.
And they had a bunch of different people on this album. They brought in some session guys, some guest appearances and whatnot. Even the song Billion Dollar Babies that you talked about. Do you know the singer Donovan contributed on that song?
Yep. I didn't know he contributed, but I know who the singer is. Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Here's the rest of the songs there. The final two songs is Mary Ann, a short song, 2 minutes, and then finally I Love the Dead. Good lyrics there. It's the Necrophilia song, and it's kind of a lot of comedy, tongue in cheek. This is Alice Cooper. This is straight up Alice Cooper. Vincent Furnier at the best. Good stuff. So there's the songs. Now here's the group that performed for this. Alice Cooper, lead vocals, also gets credit with harmonica. Glenn Buxton on lead guitar. Good guy. Michael Bruce, rhythm. Dennis Dunaway, bass. Kind of underrated bassist, I think, also over the years. Neil Smith on the drums. Now, the guys were all put together for this album. I mean, they were all kind of solid guys, right? Neil Smith was troubled with his alcohol addiction, right? And he also was dealing with, after many years of alcohol abuse, he got pancreatitis from alcohol abuse. And so he was dealing with the pancreatitis through the sessions and didn't, wasn't on all the drum work. So they had featured different drummers on this as well. But Neil Smith was the normal drummer. So they had 10 songs, 4 songs released. Now, the touring, Andy, was what I found interesting. We weren't around here. We were young infants. But this album when it was released, the band embarked on a tour which broke United States box office records previously held by the Rolling Stones. It included a scheduled 64 concerts in 59 cities in 90 days. The staff, there was 40 to 50 people on the staff. There was 26,000 pounds of equipment and 2 semi-truck trailers for the tour, 2 of them. And they had, they're always known for the stage show. And this is when they really took it to that whole nother level with all of the props, with the surgical table, a dentist drill, 6 hatchets, 300 baby dolls, 22,000 sparklers were brought on stage. They involved 58 mannequins, 28 gallons of bubble juice, and 250,000 packages of bubble bath. So this is some weird stuff, Andy, very strange. The people were in for a treat who got to go to this. The set also included 4 whips, and 33,000 program books. So this was the shock treatment. I'm sure there was a lot of smiles in the crowd. This was a good time, an easy good time show to go and watch. I'm sure maybe
you went for the theatrics of it too.
It was all theater. You thought, Kiss. You thought, Kiss was big with the pyrotechnics, but the theatrics in an Alice Cooper show was phenomenal. Now I got only one more piece here to mention. I'm a big fan of Chris Cornell of Soundgarden.
Yes, I knew you'd get to this part.
So Chris Cornell stated that it was one of his favorite records. He said in an interview with Spin Magazine in 1989. He said, when I was in junior high, every Friday, the teachers would let us bring in our LPs, our albums. Hey, we're going to play some music. Feel free to bring in an album. Chris Cornell says, I'm going to bring in Billion Dollar Babies. 1973, he was a young guy by this time. He wasn't really into music, but they wouldn't let me play it. But hey, he said they never vetoed anyone else's choice before. It was then that I knew that rock and roll could scare the bleep out of people. This was all that Chris Cornell needed to hear to say, this is the direction I want to go in.
Yep.
If this is so hastily avoided and criticized, I want to maybe get into something like this. And so Alice Cooper, Billion Dollar Babies, brought Chris Cornell to his love of music and said, you know what, I want to get into this because it's obviously a rebellious thing. I like it. That's all I've got. Good album. Once again, I own it. I didn't get into this album till later on in life. It's not one that you find yourself playing front to back multiple times a year.
Or back to front.
Yeah. I would say once every 2-3 years, I'll pop this in and play it front to back. Yep. It's just good. It's good stuff. It's only 40 minutes long. It's pretty quick, but it's your typical Alice Cooper. That's all I've got. Good stuff.
All right, here we go with some concert information coming up for you here. Club Underground, January 18th, 32 headshots along with New Defective, $10 cover. Music starts at 8:30.
New Defective should be good.
Yep.
And that's original. That's original music, right?
Yep. Big Guys Barbecue Roadhouse, Hellion, and Darkest Hour. So some Judas Priest and Megadeth covers there. February 22nd, if you're interested in that.
Okay.
That's your jam.
Yeah, I gotta see Hellion. I still haven't seen those guys.
There you go. There's Mr. Beth there in Hellion. We see him there.
Of course.
All right. Listed as a Battle of the Tribute Bands, Saturday, June 28th. I know this is far out, but just letting you know. Bernie's Pizza is going to have this. It's going to be Tumbling Dice, Rolling Stones, and then Dust and Bones, our friends from Dust and Bones. Guns N' Roses tribute.
Okay, this should be good. They're getting craft beer brought in by the SXSE.
South by Southeast, yes.
Okay.
And like I said, it's going to be 5 hours. So 2 bands putting on full set. Should be good. The Sounds of Seattle, Saturday, January 11th, 8:30 at Jersey's Bar and Grill. Queen of the Reich and Seattle Rain. So there you go.
I can't make it this night. I've seen Seattle Rain before. We both have seen Queen of the Reich, but Jersey's a good place to go there. Great venue.
Jeff Tate from Queensryche is on his final chapter of the Operation Mindcrime tour. And there it is, April 22nd. He'll be in Minneapolis at the Varsity Theater. So,
see, that is a nice little intimate venue. If you're a big
Mhm.
fan, check that out. It should be fun.
Matt Alice and the Grime will be at the Pioneer Place in St. Cloud, March 22nd. All ages show. So
That is good. And I've seen these bands. These guys are a very talented group. You want to be there at the beginning to see both of these bands. They're kind of a sister band connected with the whole Seattle sound.
Yeah.
Don't show it just for one of the bands. Get there for both.
Like it says here, featuring mostly acoustic performances by both bands. So something a little different there.
The groups are talented here from a musicianship standpoint. Very good.
And I got one more thing. Now, Dan, I know you missed this. We recorded Monday's show and you took off. This came out.
Okay.
I remember Williams and Reed, the Indian and the white guy. It used to be on TNN a lot. Well,
the Caucasian.
The Indian guy passed away. Williams has passed away this week. So those of you who remember the old TNN show and these guys, he has passed away. Sioux Falls area show. He's from a South Dakota Native American area, but they always booked themselves as the Indian and the white guy because back then you could, and they took advantage of that and ran with it. So
good stuff there.
And also, guys, say before, Dan, you missed out. You had to leave early last week after Monday's show. I was sitting here in the studio just kind of putzing around, and Danta Claus showed up with his naughty and nice list, and we were going over that. You can find that on our YouTube page. Check it out. See if you made the list on either side.
I'll have to watch it. So it's a naughty and a nice list, two separate columns.
Yep. Okay. He did nice, then he did naughty. He wanted to read a different type of naughty list, but we don't do those shows anymore. We
family oriented. That's
for our Patreon page. You can catch that over there. Yeah. Once we get one of those, we'll do that. But yeah, so check that out on our YouTube page. You can listen to it on Spotify, but sorry, Spotify. This is one of those, you need the visual for this one.
Yes. You
need the visual. Some of the people who made the list, I've heard back from some already. They gave thumbs up because they made the nice list. But check it out. See if you're on there. And if not, doesn't mean you weren't nice or naughty. Just we only had 6 minutes to kill. He was on a time crunch on, he stopped in on Christmas, the night before Christmas Eve, and he had a lot to do. So
probably very busy. Now, was there coal handed out?
No. Well, yes. But he said it was being naughty list. He did threaten one naughty with coal.
Okay.
I have not talked to that naughty person to see if he went through with it. I know Santa's never lied to me.
Never.
So I'm pretty sure if Santa Claus said you're getting coal, period. So, yes.
Well, let's check that out. Be sure to watch that again. Any other news? How about the 12, the one hits?
12 one hits wonders of the 80s. It should be out soon, if not out already. I have not checked today if it went out.
Yeah.
I know the interns were running the show the last couple of days here.
That's a little mini series.
Yeah.
It should be pretty good here, starting here, going through the next 12 days. So wrapping up.
I don't know what the interns started over the last couple of days. I was gone. So
yeah, we had some new interns start. So we'll see how that has fared. But other than that, we'll see you all next week.
See you later.
2025.
Yes. See you then.
All right. See you. Have a good one.
Bye.